Put another level, a couple levels of depth in the kill pit. I sometimes build archery towers. In this case, I'm looking forward to it, although we haven't done it yet. I'm going to put one up right here in the middle because it will cover both our auxiliary entrance and our primary entrance with one tower right here in the center, because they're close enough together and pointing towards one another that a tower in the center gets them both. So I get double bonus from, putting it right here. But for right now, it's not really a high priority. We've got the entrance gallery to finish up, and once that's done, then we'll look at expanding our defensive line a little more. So the tavern is pretty well jumping. That's nice. We do have a flux stone. I haven't bothered to start steel up yet. We do have marble, though, and we have iron, so we definitely have steel materials. We'd have to use wood, charcoal, though. We don't have any coal on site. But we have magma smelters, so I guess I should just go ahead and queue it up, shouldn't I? We don't need all of the coal, just one unit for making the steel itself. We don't require all of that. And we need pig iron bars. I forgot we got pig iron as well. And so we'll crank out some steel. That'll be useful. Oh yeah, we only need half the coal because we don't need to. We only need the coal for when it's actually an ingredient and not when it's a fuel, which really helps. Making steel purely off wood, charcoal, and requiring it both for fuel and component is just, I can't even imagine the number of trees you're going to go through. You'll literally deforest your map. Okay, he's named his shield, yay. Moving on. Well, but the catch you're missing there when you say 2 flux stone, 2 iron is that the 2 iron also takes 2 charcoal, so that's 4 charcoal up to. And then you also have to make the pig iron, and the pig iron is another smelt down as well. And so, now you're looking at each of those separate reactions is taking its own set of charcoal at that point. You're burning a whole lot more charcoal than you fully expect. It's not just that final product. Because when you do the steel, you have to have charcoal as an ingredient, but you also have charcoal as a fuel, and then each of the iron and pig iron recipes also needs charcoal as a fuel. And a fuel to make it run if you're not in a magma furnace.
I'm going to keep this thing.
Yeah, we were looking at it earlier, and I couldn't justify it since we didn't have coal on site. We could have used up the last of what we brought with us, and that would have gotten us a little bit of steel, but it wasn't worth worrying about it at that point. Now, though, we can do whatever we want with it, pretty much. And the tavern's up and running, so let's see. Do we have any long-term residents yet? Probably not. Nobody's probably petitioning to stay here, and if they have, I haven't seen it. Let's see if we can get the bed done there. Nobody in that one. That one needs to be constructed. Nobody there. Nobody there. Okay, so we're still waiting on furniture in all these rooms, of course. So as silly as it is, in order to keep them separate, I'm actually going to end up with 2 professions. One for tavern performer and one for temple performer. And they're not going to be any different in terms of what they actually do. I just need to name them different so I can keep track of who's in the temple and who's in the tavern. I don't know, 6 or 8 different kinds. I don't know if we've actually finished making them all yet, though, because a lot of them required bone. So I'll have to take a trip back through what we've got to see if we've actually managed to finish all of them yet. I had 4 tavern performers. This one here somewhere. There you are. I knew I had 4. Okay, so one guy doing tavern keeper, and I need to make sure I have a profession. Oh, there's an incredible number of instruments. And yeah, I'm getting bones from slaughtering, but I seem to remember that our instruments took an incredible number of bones. It was kind of absurd, really. Like everything was needing like not just a bone, I thought, but multiple pieces of bone. Hang on. Crafts dwarves here. So yeah, we still haven't finished those tasks. Let's check the profile and see what the orders actually say. So it doesn't look like we've actually got them started, really. It looks like we've been kind of tied up doing the rock pots and mugs. It may be that my stone crafters are too busy doing something else and they haven't gotten around to it. My stone and bone... I mean, I have a bone crafter for some of those other tasks as well. That would be the other problem. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I ever got anybody doing bone crafting. We did do... Actually, no, wait a minute. That's not quite right. We did do... These guys never did any of it, though, so maybe I didn't have them assigned. Okay. No, that's no big deal. We will have the kitchen workers doing the bone carving, because why not? So in their spare time, since there's now so many of them, we can go ahead and have the spare ones doing off-job stuff, doing bone carving, I guess. That gives us plenty of people doing those tasks. I just need to make sure that I have somebody doing bone carving. Just in case that's what the holdup is, because I think some of these pieces need bone, and I'm not sure we've been doing the bone carving. That would be the problem. See if I can force the priority on it and see if that kicks in. I may have set something up wrong with the skill, too, is the other problem. No, that's skill 4. We definitely have people who have the skill to do it. All of the people who are doing stonecrafting are at least a 7. That's at least proficient. So let's check our work orders for make Esmol keyboard here. Esmol keyboards at most 10, bone body parts at least 10. Oh, we probably don't have them in a stockpile. Maybe that's our problem. So there's bone, more bone down here. So clearly we've gotten the bone along the way. I'm not sure why they're not completing the task. Oh yeah, we have sand. I have glass. We're making glass stuff right now. Apparently I didn't re-queue them though after the crash, so hang on. Because we don't need the coal there, the sand is free basically at that point. You can just convert it to whatever item you want. Oh, so yeah, you say that like I haven't already done that yet. Yeah, we're there. Don't sweat that. I got you taken care of here. Now on this one, we're just going to let it do those two things because those are the most important things to me right now. Getting plenty of pots up and making sure I have more discs for the traps. No, it's not finished yet. It's still digging out the pump stack room here, which is what that's going to be when we're done. Magma in this case, in order to make sure I have the proper geometry for dropping the water into it. We're piping it up a couple of floors, not much, just a couple. We'll build glass parts. Glass parts are magma safe, and I can produce them en masse relatively quickly. Since we're only going up a couple of floors, I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to expand the nozzles of the pump stack for temperature calculation reduction. And apparently that put us out near some more raw adamantine, so we've discovered some more, in addition to what we had previously, apparently. Hang on. We're just rediscovering it. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm seeing any new there, unless that's just a continuation of the patch we had before, maybe. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything special there. Okay, so no worries there. Okay, now in theory, the way this is supposed to work is we'll have enough magma pumped in here at all times that it will keep the surrounding walls warm and reduce the amount of temperature calculations we have to do because there will be empty spaces in our pump stack. So, unlike the standard pump stack, which is mostly just a straight line back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, this one has to have a reservoir at each one so that the walls are kept warm and there's not the constant temperature flux from empty, cold, full, hot, empty, cold, full, hot, constantly fluxing the temperature back and forth. Yeah, that's the goal. Reducing the number of temperature calculations is intended to reduce the frame rate hit we'll take from pumping stuff. Without so much trouble. And what it appeared to be was when the pump stack would empty out each level, it would have to recalculate the temperature of all the surrounding tiles because there's no more lava there. And then when the pump stack below filled the tiles up, it would then pump that full and it would have to recalculate the surrounding temperature of all those surrounding wall tiles. And so it's recalculating the temperature of like 6 or 8 tiles for every pump cycle for every pump. And so it's a much more greater impact than the water was basically. And so, well, we could theoretically we could dig, like maybe right over here in the side of this, and then let the magma in horizontally, if you will, for as little as we're going to need it. I mean, this is only what, 5 floors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pumps. That's not that many. If we were going up 30 floors, I'd be worried about it. But a pump stack that's only, 5 floors, that's trivial. That's no big deal. We can run that manually with a few guys running pumps. I'm not even going to automate this. It's just going to be, I'm just going to have a few guys run it when we need it. If they're pumping into a compacted space, we're not going to have to worry about it. My forges are basically sitting on the magma sea. So we literally went down until we hit semi-molten rock, which you can't dig through, and then we went back up looking for I went up a couple levels and started looking for the warm rock. So I went up here and tried to dig a circle, and when I hit stubbed my toe basically like right here. And so we went up another floor and did the same thing, and we stubbed our toe again. You can see this isn't quite a perfect circle here. There's a little niche that's dug in right here because of the lava on the other side. So we went back down, and you can see where I dug the access tunnel, threw a bridge over it, and punched the hole with this filled up already. And so the magma sweeps in, it's underneath all our forges, and we're in business. If we needed to expand our forging operation, it's not difficult. We could just expand out this way and punch a hole downward through this wall here, and the magma will passively flow in underneath our forges. There's more magma here than we will ever need. We'll never drain these magma lakes. So I don't really need a magma lock as such. This is a source of magma we will never exhaust. It touches the edges of the maps. It flows on constantly. We will never drain the magma that these forges are running on. But we can run a few pumps, I think, without causing ourselves any problems.
Oh no, another dwarf has gone fey. Give me the workshop.
But I was just about to...
Give me the workshop.
But...
Give it to me.
But...
Give it to me.
Okay.
I mean, we're not quite done yet. I'm still going to have to go back and drill out sections of this to allow power to transit between the different pumps, for example. So at this point we need to think about whether we want to power this, and so that means water pumped power, because water wheels are really the only way to power a pump stack like this. And I don't have a problem with powering it full time, so we'll have to run water down to the basement, not just for our intake on the water layer of the obsidian caster, but also to power our water wheels to power the magma pumps. So let's go ahead and build that in now while we've got it, while we're thinking about it. Okay, and then we'll build ourselves a floodgate right here to block in the magma once we're ready to seal it up, basically. I want to say screw pumps take, what, 10 each? And the water wheel provides 100, so we probably only need one wheel, but I'll just go ahead and throw a few of them up in series here. We'll wire them all up together and hook them to the pumps here, and we'll be in good shape. So we're going to kind of cheat, and the way I'm going to make this work is the same intake that fills the water level is also going to power the water wheels. And the way we'll set it up is that when the water reservoir is empty, the bridge closes, the water starts to flood in and fill up. We can flood fill this whole area as much as we want, and it will drain out the far side down into the bottom where it will power the water wheels. If we want to, at which point that'll keep the power, the lava pumps running, basically. When we want to actually cast, all we have to do is close the outlet of the water, which shuts off the lava pumps. this will fill up almost instantaneously because of the pressure. It will fill up to the level we need it in about half a second because of the river. Then we can pull the lever to pull the bridge out from under it. The water drops. We cast our lava. We close the bridge again. We open the floodgate. The magma pumps would flip back on if we wanted them to immediately. But we can leave that closed, and that will leave the pumps off and leave the magma pressure off, basically, while we get built up. And I think that's probably what we want to do. That's probably the route we're going to go. Shouldn't a sufficiently large pond on the top of 2 aquifer levels drain itself? To answer your question, if you're saying what I think you're saying, let's say you pumped water out of the aquifer and you pumped it over the top of a hole in the aquifer, it would go right back into the aquifer. So, I mean, yes, I think it should. But the catch is that you can't drain the entire aquifer. It produces at a rate faster than it drains. It won't flood, but you can't drain a layer, basically. Now, if we're far enough above the top of the magma sea, this will all go off without a hitch. Let's find out. Actually, I don't think any of the named folks have died horribly yet. We did have some strange deaths. Guy got himself up a tree, we're not sure how, on the far side of the map across the river, which didn't have a bridge to it. So somehow he managed to get himself across the river and up a tree. Let's see. We did have 3 cave-ins where the dwarves managed to dig themselves out while digging a lair and managed to dig loops over the top of a hole. Okay, so he is working. That's good. We'll make sure he's not sitting there idle. Let's see. We've made several artifacts, several of which are actually built in our dining room at the moment now, so that we've got our hatch and this chair here are both artifacts. I debated putting the chest in. I haven't done it yet. We have a gold chest that we could sit right here, for example, and everybody would pass it on the way to the library. Really wish the goblins would show up. We know for a fact that they exist and that they're at war with us. I don't understand why they haven't showed up already. I need to put some sandbag storage down here. That's something I forgot to do. This is only 253, so this will be the third year. Early summer? You're still cranking out masterwork furniture?
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll name you after my mother.
We have an artifact crossbow, which we can put in a weapon trap and then forbid so we never have to load it. That'll work. Actually, no. I think we throw it up in the library. Which will get us the storage space in the library that we still haven't gotten because we're so far behind on rock boxes at this point that we can't see the sun. I'm about half tempted to just dig out some empty space, throw up a bunch of mason's shops, and have a bunch of half-trained nobodies crank me out a collection of rock boxes. So swimming doesn't really have the kind of difficulty to cross-train that it used to. Pretty much getting everybody to a level 1 or thereabouts swimmer is really easy. So once somebody gets the skill, they'll start writing it down and training everybody else, and then presto. Everybody in my fort can just about swim. Yeah, once we get the obsidian caster up, I'm gonna basically set up a new stone area down there specifically to grind through blocks. And at that point we can train up as many masons as we'd like. But we're not quite there just yet. Got a little bit more to go just yet. And actually, I realize now that I have done this in the wrong way. So, fantastic. Awesome. But that's okay, because I needed to excavate over to there to get to that anyway, so that works. I'm not going to complain about it. We'll make that work. Now we have to smooth and fortify this exit point over here so that water can flow off the map. Oh, well, I could always just, draft them, stick them in a room, and then wash water through the room to train them a little bit. But at this point, I haven't done anything to train them, and you can look at Therapist. Almost everybody in my fort already has a level 1 swim. I mean, none of them are necessarily good swimmers, but just about everybody can swim, and I'm guessing most of the folks who can't are folks who just arrived and therefore haven't trained at all. My hammer squad at this point can probably hold off an entire siege by themselves. They're going to be pretty brutal when we finally get it to deploy them. Was that a caravan coming or going? That was a coming caravan. Okay, let's see if the human caravan actually makes it all the way downstairs this time. Hardy har har har. Because last time they got their little faces right in the door and then turned around and went home. Dorks. I mean, I don't even know what they turned around for. They just showed up, parked themselves. Oh, no, maybe that was the Dwarven caravan that did that. Jesus. They showed up, walked just inside the ramps, and then turned around and left. It's like, why? No, I think the humans have showed up every time. I think I'm remembering the wrong group here. Yeah, no, I definitely want to have my dwarves, if they're going to be in the military especially, at least a level 1, so they have a fighting chance in water. I don't necessarily care so much about getting them higher than that, but getting them that first level is actually really simple. Once you have somebody in your portrait can swim, they'll start training everybody else, and it's only a matter of time before it spreads to everyone. As far as I've seen, I can't guarantee everybody will pick it up, but those people who don't, I'm not going to worry about it. That's sort of I guess a selection of survival of the fittest kind of thing. If you won't pick up swimming and everybody else can. Now, I'm not sure. Dead stuff visible. You mean like corpses? You're kidding me, right? That's enough to make them leave nowadays? No, that can't be it. They walked right past the corpse at the door. I mean, literally, they walked right over the top of it to get to the ramp. So, no, it's not that. No, they literally walked right across the corpse to get in the door. So unless one of the merchants had no discipline, and that one merchant somehow governs all of their reactions somehow, it's something I can think of. In which case, that's Babytown Frolics, man. I mean, if you're a merchant in this time period, you might as well expect to see death on a regular basis. I'm reminded of the intro scene to the Netflix. Yeah, but I don't have that many dead things. It's not like there's a big pile of goblin corpses inside the front door or something. There might be a body or two of like a dog or something got mauled. That'd be about it. No, it's literally these two dog corpses at the door, and that's it. And they walked over those to get in the door. But it's twice the Dwarven Caravan has done weird shit where they come on the map and get halfway to the depot and then turn around and leave. It's not the first time, so there's something weird. I'm kind of starting to wonder if maybe that's how the other Dwarven settlement has survived so long, because if their merchants and their visiting folks are so scared of corpses that they won't go near another civilized area for fear of meeting somebody's butcher shop, then it's possible that they've just been recluses for so long nobody's ever come to visit them. Yeah, no, there's no sentience dead here. I don't think those are dingo men. I think they're dogs. Let me double check. Pretty sure they're just... Oh, no, these are dingo men. But still, they, like I said, they crossed over the top of them to get halfway down the ramp before they returned. I guess maybe I can throw these out. It's no big deal to me one way or the other. Just surprised that it would frighten them away, I guess. Parts be gone! I'll mark them for dumping. They'll end up in the garbage zone. Problem solved. Now, that spam you're seeing there about load weapon trap, no ammunition, you're going to see that for crossbows routinely. You don't want to load a crossbow trap in your own fort unless you have a real good reason to do it. And in this case, we really don't. We're only using the crossbow for show anyway. So rather than load it, what we'll do is we'll query the building and get its contents and forbid them so that nobody actually uses the crossbow, and they'll stop trying to load it at that point, and that will be that. So we will forbid the weapon trap. Oh, it looks like somebody already loaded it, but that's okay. We will forbid this so that if it does get unloaded, it will be reloaded. And now that that's forbidden, problem solved. Thinking we need more smelters is our real problem. Or we need more people doing smelting, I'm not sure. Yeah, I have quite a few furnaces operating. Probably want to get the haulers in on the job. I guess it's possible that some member of the caravan, one of the last ones in, got spooked, but yikes, really? I mean, over a couple of dingo men that have been dead for a year and a half? Man. We got a name for that where I'm from. Chicken shit. Chicken shit. That's entirely possible. I didn't really get a good look at them. I mean, I doubt it, because they're from the Dwarven civilization, so... And there were only 36 dwarves, so I doubt we have dingo men in any large number. But maybe? Maybe? We can say only one thing with any great certainty. The dingo man did not eat my baby. Yeah, no, I know they can have mixed races. I just mean that the civilization we joined literally had 36 people in it when we joined it, and I don't think any of them were dingo men. I mean, you're talking like a couple of goblin outcasts was a major minority. Unless it's wildly changed in the back history while we've been doing this, at 110 population, we are probably now 3/4 of the entire civilization in this one fort. When we finally retire this fort, we will have sextupled the original population, give or take, or, you know, quintupled the original population, give or take. Yeah, I joined the wrong civilization. This wasn't really the one I wanted to pick. I had another one in mind, and we picked the wrong one. I forgot to check before we embarked. And so we ended up with literally the world's smallest dwarven civilization is who we're part of. So at this point, we are practically rebuilding the entire dwarven race. Well, not the race, because there's other civs, but our civ from the ground up. We are it. Not quite it. I mean, like I said, there was at least one other settlement, but it was 36 people when we started. Pull up Legends Viewer, see what it was last time we looked. So, oops. When we looked, the Mirror of Systems was our civ, and there were only 2 remaining settlements. Pass Razor had been founded in the first year, and Balls of Steel is us, and we would retired just to poke at it in Legends. And there were only, at the time, 33 dwarves in Pass Razor, and there is, as of this, there were 78 in ours, so we were already 2/3. And I'm sure that they've grown, but they probably haven't grown like we have. Check in on my supplies. More than plenty of plants, more than